Hello, folks. This is Ankur here, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Technical Analysis, The Unbiased View. So, today I have shortlisted two stocks which were in news from quite some time. Perhaps they are in news since last 3 to 4 years. Uh, the reason picking up those stocks are because the news is attached. That is A. B. Now there is a right time to play the news when we overlap the news on the technical chart. I'm going to analyze both the stocks with respect to purely price action and chart pattern. I'm not going to filter the chart with any other tool. I'm not going to involve any complex tool so that most of us can understand it in a very, very simple language, right? So the two stocks for the day, what I'm going to discuss with you is BPCL and Container Corporation of India, CONCOR. We all know that there is a divestment news which has been in the market from last 3 to 4 years, maybe more than that, but there is no action as such in the stock. The price went all the way to 515 BPCL and it cooled down, right? And most of us been waiting for a aggressive action in the stock. The reason I'm discussing the stock today with all of you that the spot has come. The spot has come where it might give us a breakout. Reason for that was very simple. This is a triangle pattern which is created in BPCL. As you can see, one second, let me just delete that and make it thinner one. As you can see, this is the triangle pattern and these are the trend line, and the triangle pattern is getting over here, right? The pattern is getting completed over here. Now if you see, very interestingly, the stock has just closed at the resistance of the triangle pattern. This was the one first resistance, this is the second resistance, this is the third resistance, right? Now it may happen that stock can give the breakout from this because this is called bilateral pattern. These triangle patterns are called bilateral pattern. Why? What is the meaning of bilateral pattern? In simple terms, that it can move either ways. Either it can give us the breakout or it can give us the breakdown. So such patterns are called bilateral pattern. It means it can move like this on the breakout or it can go like that on the breakdown. However, the opportunity what we have to discuss today is with respect to the investment. The purpose of making this video is for my those friends, those who believe in positional view, to hold perhaps for few weeks, few months, or maybe year or more than that, right? So there is that kind of opportunity, that kind of a system which is getting created in the BPCL chart. Number one, which I have explained you, there is a triangle pattern which is getting uh, which was created and the pattern is getting over. So there is a conclusive evidence that there will be some movement in the stock, whether it is a breakout or the breakdown, since it is a bilateral pattern, right, in BPCL. Second, let's understand, let's analyze it now with respect to price action in more detailed manner. So if I take top to bottom, the formation of the chart, the formation of the pattern is around 54%, correct? If I take this high, right, if I take this high and if I take this low, so this entire range is say 54%, right, which is mentioned here, correct? Now what we have to do with this 54%, how we have to analyze it? Since it is a triangle pattern and since it is a bilateral pattern, one thing you have to understand that we will have to take 50% of the entire range, right? So let's say, let's take 27%, correct? Let's take 27%, almost like here, right? 27%. If I have to divide it for you, 53.99 divided by 2, then it's like 27%, right? And it is like, let me just adjust it completely. It's not okay. So this is our 27%. So this range, please pay attention, this range, this part is the 50% of the our triangle pattern. Correct. Now, how to where the technical play an important role for investors, that whether they're entering in a right place or they're entering in a wrong place, whether even if it's cooled down, the risk reward ratio is favorable or not. These are the locations where the technical analysis also helps the investors. So as we can see, at the 50%, what is the range coming of the 50%? The range is, the level is almost 396, so we can take it 400, right? Let's round it off and let's make it 400. Let's make it 400. So 400 is 50% of the entire triangle pattern, this triangle pattern. Okay, this symmetrical triangle pattern. Right now the stock closed at 461. Correct. Now, the point we have to understand, the next analysis is, so there are two parts. Which are the two parts? The first part is this 50% of the chart pattern, and if I change the color, this part is the another 50% of the triangle pattern. Even if the stock cools down and it is taking the support somewhere here, let me change the color one second. Somewhere here, right, which is at 400. This is 400, correct? It is time to accumulate, correct? And and if stock slips below 396, it is time to exit, because the stock will then enter into the bearish zone. And if we have to continue, then if it is taking the support of 400 and moving above, we can stay invested, right? So you have to understand that the stock will trade either at this 50% or at this 50%. And if by let me make a vertical trend line for you. By 6th of September 2021, if the stock slips below 396, exit, exit, exit. Correct? The chart also tells us that what is happening on the fundamental basis. Sometimes the chart is also ahead of the fundamental news, because the accumulation, the pattern, and the price action and the volume action, it starts hinting us, correct? And if the stock remains at this 50% of the level, 50% of the chart, and is still continuing trading above 400, taking the support of 400, moving above 400, breaking out the pattern, it's time to rip the fruits. Now, another analysis, the last point. As you can see, let me just delete this also. As you can see, interestingly, the stock has not gone beyond 400, right? There is only 1 week I can see, only 1 week, this week or this week, where the stock traded below 400, correct? Traded below 400 and they went up. If you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even 9. So stock is quite decently maintaining itself above 400 levels, right? Above 400 levels. Now, if I have to show you some long-term moving average, right, just as a filter, so the 200 exponential week uh, moving average is also indicating a level of 393, which is very close to 400, just 7 points below 400. So therefore 393, 396 is a great level, which is confirming price action is also confirming. The 50% of the chart pattern is also indicating towards 396, and the 200 exponential week average is also indicating towards 393. Correct. So 393, 396 are the level that if stock slips below these levels, we will have to accept it and exit. There should not be any stubbornness. But this is and the beauty of the filtration of this the price action 50% the moving average is that it is occurring in the bilateral pattern, which is symmetrical triangle pattern. Thus the the value of these levels becomes more important. Correct, it becomes more important. So this is with respect to BPCL, my dear friends. Please remember, the pattern is getting over somewhere around by 6th of September 2021. If it is taking the support of 393, 396, and it is settling above 396, 393 on a weekly basis, I'm presenting a weekly chart. You can go ahead and stay invested until and unless on a weekly basis the stock breaches and close below 393. Correct? We shouldn't try to accumulate on any dip, and that's where we lose the entire momentum. So a very interesting chart which is getting created in BPCL. It is a pure simple price action and chart pattern and one moving average I used, and I analyzed the entire BPCL for you. Now quickly jumping on to Container Corporation of India. So similarly, in Container Corporation of India, as you can see, it is clearly evident in the weekly chart that there was some accumulation going on this range. Correct? And if I extend the box, there is no candles which you can see here. However, the beauty is that the stock is maintaining the support of the upper band of the accumulation. Correct? And as you can see, there only 1 week, two only 2 weeks when the stock traded below the upper band of the accumulation. Rest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks it maintained the support of this band, which was the accumulation zone. Correct? Which was the accumulation zone of which was the accumulation zone, and this is the upper band of the accumulation zone, and stock is continuously taking the support. Now interestingly, I have already marked for you, as you can see, there is a flag pattern which is getting created. Correct? Flag pattern which is getting created. This flag pattern, this pattern. Correct? And another beauty, that the stock is taking the resistance of this pattern. Correct? This is a kind of, I can say, ascending triangle. However, the above trend line is slightly tilted. Still, let's consider this as a ascending triangle. So now a very 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 important point, that the stock has made a flag and pole pattern within the ascending triangle, and it is trading in a very close range of this band. Any day a breakout on above this on a weekly basis, it is a re-rating for the stock. It is a re-rating for the stock, and we have seen that after that it is very difficult to catch the stocks when it goes in a higher momentum. Correct? And if you see, the entire price action from top to bottom is of 60%. Let's say 60%, and the 50% of the momentum is 30%, right? So 30%, which is very interestingly coming to the bottom zone of the accumulation. See, this is the 30%. This is the 30%. Correct? So we can take this bottom zone, which is the 50%, and the bottom of that accumulation zone, both put together. We can take this level as our positional stop loss, which is 457. Positional stop loss, which is 457. So if you see the behavior of the stock, either the stock is trading above this range, either the stock is trading above this range, or it is trading below this range. So on a positional basis, we can take the positional stop loss or a weekly hold, or for a span of year or so, the positional stop loss would be 457, 460. Correct? So what we have considered In BPCL, the positional stop loss should be 393. A couple of weeks closing or 1 week closing below 393, a continuous resistance, and it is rejecting exit from BPCL. Similarly, for Container Corporation of India, for a fresh investment from tomorrow, the positional stop loss is 460, and if it's break the flag and pole pattern with the trend line, the above trend line of ascending triangle pattern, it is a complete re-rating. Since we all are expecting a positive outcome in the stock in coming times, right? And we all are anticipating that the privatization, no one can stop the privatization, a divestment, and it will happen. And that is the aim of our government also. So perhaps the moment if it breaks, then you can also take a screenshot. You can also make the same trend line on your chart and keep observing. The day it breaks the trend line or the flag and pole pattern on a weekly basis, you can get into a swing trade also. Correct? So you can also see this. You can take a screenshot and you can also draw the same trend line on your systems with respect to BPCL and Container Corporation of India. And you can also wait for the right opportunity. And for investors, they can get into a fresh investment right now. The stock is beautifully taking the support of the upper bound of the accumulation zone, which happened in the past. And the support of that accumulation zone has to be the stop loss for Container Corporation of India. Correct? So this is the analysis with respect to the investment. So I hope it has helped you little bit in your decision power in decision making. So thank you guys. Keep supporting, keep watching technical analysis, the unbiased view. This is Ankur Singh. Bye bye.